307 3-speed Norwood car, X11. This car was restored in 1984. The only thing that they changed on it pretty much was the color. It was an original Le Mans blue. Now they changed the color to black. I have all the receipts and whatnot to show all the process that went into it. The car hasn't been touched pretty much ever since. It's been very well kept up. It drives like a brand new car back in '69. It's smooth, engages in the clutch, and everything's perfect. There's a whole lot to love on this car, in other words. If you see the lines, they're nice and crisp throughout. The paint, I say it's easily a strong 9. I mean, you have to look really, really hard to find imperfections on it. All I would do, it has a little bit of orange peel. I will do a light sand blocking and polish the whole car. Other than that, it sits perfect. Rust, no rust whatsoever. Very, very minimal, and I'll show you the places where I found. As you know, these are the usual spots, and there's no bubbling on that whatsoever. So it's been painted back since 1984. So we're talking about what, 22 plus 16, we're looking at 38 years ago, or not. So that's not, something would have came up if it was rusty, in other words. Door shut nice and clean. The gaps are perfect, the way they should be. Interior seems to be original. So it's got some wear and tear, you can see. But me personally, I think it looks good. I like cars like this. Just a nice, honest car. Carpet seems to be original. I can't verify that, but very, very light fade on it. But it looks, I like it. I think it looks really good. Everything on the car works. The radio does not work. Never really bothered to look into it, but there's the fuse is good. It's got power going to it. It just doesn't work. I stopped there, I figured. And it's missing the knob here on the glove compartment. And there's your 3-speed. It's got tilt steering column, rosewood steering wheel. I don't know if it's original, but it's on there. The top, it's manual. And everything latches, all the chrome is there, all the pieces are there. There's no missing pieces whatsoever to this car. Every nook and cranny, everything it's the way it's supposed to be. What else we got here? Standard interior, pretty much. All the glass is nice and clean. There's no rubbish going on. Like I said, the car was restored in 1984, and it looked like it was restored just like a year ago or so. I mean, it's just amazing. The back window, it's not glass. It's not faded. It's nice and clear, as you can see. The top is very, very clean. I don't know if we can focus in there, but let me see. Okay. But it's very clean. There's the back of it here. It's got the bumper guards and whatnot, and like I said, the paint shows so well. I'm just amazed on how well it shows. The chrome, it's clean. Let me see if we can open up this trunk here. Again, solid. No rust whatsoever. Very, very minimal rust right there. You can just rub that off. It's not even rust. These are the insulators for vibration. Got them on all 4 corners. I checked those out. I don't know if this is the original wheel because it's a different color, but that's the original jack to the car. You can see the code there, and it's got another one here somewhere. Anyhow, so yeah, very clean, no rust whatsoever, no rust issues. It's just an amazing piece. Again, it will be going on a bring a trailer soon in the next few days. I just want to do a little recap, a little video so people can see it. The only rust I found on the car, which I assume is rust because I see a little bit of bubbling there. And I'll take some detailed pictures of this area and over there in the fender I'll show you in a minute. But being that this car was painted in 1984, again, I know I keep saying that, but it's just amazing how long it's been and how well it shows. And that just shows that if there was anything funny going on anywhere in the car, you will see that like everywhere. So here's the other part here. I don't know if you can see it with all the glare, but I'll snap some pictures of this and that in detail so you can get a good idea of what's going on. But there's no rust here. Now you probably can't see it through the phone because of all the glare and the focus in here, but there's none. What else we got to talk about here? Like I said, it drives nice. Engagement on the clutch is good. The motor, the carburetor, everything seems to be right on point. Let's see if I can open this up. Now, the only thing they passed up on here was on the paint, was on the engine bay. It seems like they just did more of a quickie overspray type of paint job in here, which for me, I think it's actually good. You can see it is kind of, just kind of like flakes off because it's been a while. I would say it was not prepped up correctly. You can see the original Le Mans blow in there. And the way I think about it, I like it because you can still see all the stampings from the factory underneath that paint. You see there's that was that BTP or what is TPT, whatever that means. There's the trim code, the trim tag, X11 Norwood blah blah blah, and engine being a 307. Like I said, this is a great car to drive around just as is. I bought it with the intention of doing a LT4 swap or whatnot, but that's a different story. The only thing here on this, you see it's got underneath the hood is a little flaky and whatnot. This has got a little bit of rust. The guy that sold it to me mentioned to me that the thing that happened way back in the day is, I guess the battery exploded or it leaked or whatever. There was some massive situation going on there. So the battery tray needs replacement, but the rest of the inside of the inner fender splash area is fine. Other than that, I mean, it works pretty well. Oh, this was replaced, and this at the later years. I did not bother on getting the original radiator because it slipped my mind. So this and this is obviously not original, but everything else seems to be very, very stock. This even's got the those retainers there for the forget what they call them, shackles they call them, the manifold. Those were mostly on the Super Sports, but I guess 200 horsepower is a lot of power. Anyhow, so I'll be taking out for a ride, and hopefully I can film it as I drive it around so people can get to see how smooth it runs and whatnot. Again, it will be going on Bring a Trailer soon. I just want to do a little recap on the car so people can see what they're riding, what they're looking at. More than welcome to come by to Anaheim, California, right next to Disneyland. If you want to look at the car on site before you bid, or if you have any interest on it. Okay, so we're taking this thing out for a drive just to kind of post an idea of how it runs and, you know, what you expect to get. Turns right up, put it on neutral. The safety belts here. All right, hope this thing comes out. I don't have a GoPro, so use my cell phone and zip tied it to the seat. How about I go for e-brake? So you see, it turns out very smooth, clean. Right now, obviously the choke is still engaged because of the It needs to warm up, but you get the idea. Suspension super soft, the way they were back in those days. So we're on first right now, so 3-speed. Second. See, nice and smooth, clean. It just feels like 1969 all over again. Drum brakes all around. So definitely does not have the stopping power of today's cars, but you get used to it. It just almost nostalgic on how it drives, how it smells. It smells just like 1969 because it's got that carpet and underlayment and whatnot, and when the sun hits it, it's got that distinct smell. All 69 Camaros smell that way. First, second, might not make it to third here, but you see it drives very smooth. Oh, one thing I've noticed, the fuel gauge is off. I don't know if the sender is stuck or the ohmage on it, the resistance on it is incorrect, whatever the case is, but it's not working perfect. But you can see how it runs, how smooth it is, how smooth it shifts. The engagement in the clutch is perfect. The carburetor response is nice and crisp. I mean, you just could not ask anything more from a car that's this age, and I mean, it drives like it would have driven back then. For me, I feel it amazing. I find it amazing that it runs that well. I'm gonna roll up this window, see if we can avoid the noise. We're gonna jump on the freeway so you can get a better idea of how it runs on the freeway, how smooth it is. See the suspension. I mean, you get your usual body roll, but you know, it's all part of the experience when you drive these cars around. All right, so we're at a stop sign here. Which way do we go? Let's go that way. What else can I say about the car? The reason why I got it, I wasn't doing LT4 engine, Detroit speed all throughout. So I was gonna do more of a pro touring, but keeping the originality of the car. Just leave everything the same, just upgrade the drivetrain and whatnot. And I just felt terribly guilty on packing up this car when it's perfect. I figured I will find a shell or something else that I can do that to. I have a few other ones. But you see, for a little 200 horsepower engine, 3-speed is just the perfect combination. It just, I don't know, to me it just goes so well. You're not going to be doing 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, but it's a nice drive. So we're getting on the freeway here, and hopefully my phone is still recording. Just like I said, I don't have any other recording device. So we're on second, we're on third. Roll up this window so we can avoid some of that noise in the exterior. Oh, let me in. not shaking all over the place. I know convertibles are pretty known for having a little bit of shake. That's the reason why they put those insulators over there in the corners. But this thing drives smooth. I mean, literally, I will probably drive it anywhere. There's not a thing that doesn't work except for the stereo. I mean, for the stereo. I don't know what else I can say about it other than it's nice and clean and it drives smooth. I'll let you listen to the drive. So we're doing 70 right now, which is pretty typical speed. Driving nice. I think we'll get up here and pull back around. Make sure this thing is recording. So it's on third. See, nice and quiet. Clutch is very easy on the foot. It's not harsh at all. So for traffic purposes, it's not gonna wear your leg out. Let's see if I get a different angle here. Engagement is very soft and crisp, clean. Now, where's the pipe? This one. Personally, what I like about the car is, and it just really brings you back to a different time. Just the way it drives, the way it feels, the way it smells. When you turn a corner, you get that body roll, so you know you gotta go easy on it, and you know, it's just a 50-year-old technology, I guess you could say. It's nostalgic. feels like, I don't know, very light. It's weird. You would expect it to feel a lot heavier with a little bit of horsepower. Like more of a drag, I guess you could say. And no, it actually feels pretty light. pedal needs some WD-40. Other than that, sounds good. I kept it quiet at the end of the video, just so you can kind of listen to the car. Which is important. Okay, so we're gonna take off the, bring the top down. See the latch, nice and smooth. The other side. And just fold it back. See, it's got all its chromes here, all its parts. These are all original. You can tell just because they got some wear and tear, but look at that. Everything's just the way it's supposed to. So this car got restored in 1984. This is the receipt that the guy used to do his final payment, September 4th, 1984, for the paint and all the things that he did to it. Oh, there you go. 1969 Camaro, paint, job black. I guess that's what they called it. So anyhow, that's that. It's got a bunch of receipts for the glass. The glass was replaced on what, 1985, May 15, 1985. It's got a bunch of parts that got replaced during the restoration. A lot of Chevrolet parts, a lot of places, parts from Napa. Your owner's manual, and this is like a more of a restoration book, info on it. But he put a lot of notes on the car there. See a lot of the history there, when he replaced what, new engine, plugs, plug wire, blah blah blah, on July of 1985. I assume that was during the restoration. And then here he's got what, the gapping for the plugs and whatnot, and just a bunch of details that he's put on in it. Oh, the carburetor, body style, carburetor. I guess when he jetted it, we're at firing order, motor. That's the motor there. Tow on the plant, built in May 5th. Day and month, engine and transmission, blah blah blah. Anyway, so he's got a bunch of details, a bunch of receipts of when the gentleman restored it back in 1984. Like I said, he obviously restored it back then, and it took very well care of it. Today being 2022, that's a whole lot of years. Anyhow, the car is gonna go up for sale soon. I'm gonna put it on a Bring a Trailer, and anybody is more than welcome to come see it on site. I'm in Orange County, California, right next to Disneyland. If anybody's interested, I'll be glad to show them the car and see what they're bidding on.